Revealed, how a homeless girl's heartwarming act saved a dying billionaire, his amazing response that will shock you. Lily had seen the world from the cracked, dust-coated window of a city bus and through the stray whispers of those who walk by her and Tommy. At 12, she was a towering beacon of resilience in their bustling urban neighborhood. Most days, she'd fight the gnawing hunger in her stomach, leading her little brother Tommy by the hand through streets that felt like a never-ending maze of concrete. Every day was another challenge tucked into their meager lives. But she never let Tommy see her fear. She was determined to be his shelter in the storm. That fateful afternoon, they wandered to the local park, searching for leftover snacks, abandoned pizza crusts or half-eaten sandwiches. The warmth of the day was inviting, but hunger gnawed at Lily's insides like a wild beast. As the sun dipped low, casting golden rays across the grass, a shadow began to loom near the park bench. It was Mr. Anderson, the local billionaire, known for his extravagant parties and well-publicized wealth. And then, like a gust of wind in a quiet room, he collapsed. Lily's heart raced. Ignoring her own emptiness, she sprinted to him. She'd read about how to handle emergencies in the library she'd once escaped to for warmth. Kneeling at his side, she felt the urgency pulse through her veins. "Mr. Anderson. Can you hear me?" She rolled him onto his back, cheeks flushed and hands trembling with determination. Passers-by stood like statues, mouths agape. They were paralyzed by the surprising sight of a ragged girl performing first aid. "Stay with me," she urged, her voice trembling but steady. In that moment, she was not a homeless girl, she was a lifeline tethered to a man trapped in a cold world of isolation. "Help," she shouted, her voice cutting through the crowd. She leaned closer, her brow furrowed in concentration. And as she performed compressions, she couldn't help but speak her dreams aloud. "I just want a real home for Tommy, a warm bed without rats and worries." Moments passed that felt like a lifetime, yet the air crackled with connection. The billionaire's eyes fluttered, and when they finally met hers, something shifted. In that shared glance, they both spoke without words, and understanding sparked, bridging two worlds apart. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As Mr. Anderson began to stabilize, murmurs filled the air. Some saw a homeless girl saving a billionaire, while others viewed it with skepticism. What would it matter? But in Lily's heart, hope flickered like a candle in the dark of their struggles. They were now irrevocably linked. He promised her a better world, one where children had a chance at stable homes, if only he could find the strength after his own fall from grace. Yet the winds shifted fast as whispers of scandals encroached upon Mr. Anderson. Suddenly, the world turned its back on the very man who had found clarity amidst chaos. And there, amid the storm, stood Lily, unaware that her next words might bind their fates together more tightly than anything she'd imagined. Would he have the courage to fight for hope, or shatter like glass blown by the wind in turbulent times? Lily watched as paramedics rushed to Mr. Anderson's side, their sirens wailing like 1,000 cries of alarm. She stepped back, her heart pounding in her chest, nerves dancing as she caught snippets of the crowd's conversation. "Did you see that? A homeless girl saving him," someone said, disbelief evident in their tone. For a brief moment, the chaos faded, and it was just her and Mr. Anderson among the park's lingering shadows. She remembered his eyes, the warmth they held even in the face of death. He was more than a billionaire, he seemed like a lost soul desperate for direction, just like her. "Lily. Come here." Tommy's tiny voice pulled her back, breaking the spell. He clutched a half-eaten granola bar in his hands, but his eyes were wide with admiration. "You were amazing. You saved him." Glimmers of pride danced in her heart even as reality hunched over her shoulder. They were still homeless, still hungry. The miracle of rescue could easily slip into little more than memory if she didn't find a way to change their lives for good. Days passed, but the news of her heroic act spread like wildfire. Headlines buzzed about a destined friendship, as reporters pounced on the unlikely connection between a billionaire and a homeless girl. A press conference was held, and Mr. Anderson, now on the mend, drew the eyes of the world towards him again. Lily stood in the shadows, listening as he spoke in a steady voice about their encounter. It was a moment of truth, he said, and her heart fluttered at the thought that he might not forget her, but whispers of scandal still loomed. The more she listened, the more she understood the controversy surrounding Mr. Anderson's empire. Accusations of greed and betrayal collided with the public's fading loyalty. What did that mean for her? For Tommy? One evening, as they returned from another day of scrounging, Lily spotted a newspaper tucked under a doorway. Scanning the front page, her heart sank. The headline shouted, "Anderson's shattered reputation." Spiteful words described him as a fraud, a man who exploited those beneath him for his gain. Was this the man Lily had saved? The next day, armed with desire and tribulation, she decided to confront him. Mr. Anderson. Lily approached his estate in laser focus, pushing through the gates with newfound resolve. It felt surreal being here, a stark contrast to the park where her life had changed in an instant. She hesitated for a moment, thoughts swirling like butterflies. How could someone so wealthy, yet so fallen, help her family? He stepped onto the porch, the late morning sun casting shadows across his face. Instantly, she saw the uncertainty in his eyes. Would he still remember her? "Lily, what brings you here?" he asked. A million thoughts rushed through her mind. She needed to be honest. "I believe you can change things for kids like Tommy and me." Her voice wavered, but the truth was there, raw and palpable. It hung in the air, vibrant and alive. Mr. Anderson's gaze deepened, an understanding reflected in his blue orbs. "You have no idea how much I want to help, but the world is watching. They won't make it easy." Lily didn't fully grasp the implications. All she knew was that the tangled threads of their fates were weaving tighter. She couldn't help but see a flicker of hope. "What if you fight back?" she urged, catching him off guard. "What if we bring people together?" In that moment, an idea began to take root, a desperate plan to turn public perception. It could be their chance to change the narrative, a launching point for something bigger. Would they dare to follow through? As Mr. Anderson stared into the distance, contemplation washing over him, a flicker of determination ignited in her chest. Would they rise above the chaos, or be consumed by it? With a deep breath, she blurted the words that might define everything, "Let us show them who we really are." And somewhere deep inside, they both realized that embracing vulnerability might just be their greatest weapon yet. Would they be brave enough to fight together, or would the tide of public opinion sweep them away? Lily stood there, heart racing, the weight of her words hanging in the air. She could see Mr. Anderson absorbing her challenge, his brow shifting from uncertainty to a flicker of intrigue. It was as if she had thrown him a lifeline and she needed to show him how to swim. "What do you have in mind?" he asked, his voice steadiness piercing through the tension. The sun behind him painted a warm glow, filtering the moment, teasing them both with possibilities. "We need to show people what really happened," she started, feeling a fire ignite within. "Not just the headlines stomping all over your name. Look at how your story inspired me. It took just one moment for me to believe in myself, and for Tommy too. Imagine what we could do together." The flicker in his eyes suddenly flashed to a burning spark. "An initiative," he murmured as if tasting the words. "Maybe something to help homeless kids, to teach them skills, give them a place to stay." "Yes. Workshops, outreach programs, something that ties us back to the community." You could use your resources, she continued, the plan spilling out like a waterfall that had burst its banks. Maybe we can even partner up with some local charities to raise awareness and funds. Mr. Anderson nodded slowly, as if envisioning the strands of her ideas weaving together. But confusion still clouded his expression. And what about the media? They'll twist this too. The public doesn't care for the truth anymore. They want drama. Lily felt a sudden pang of sadness at how easily the truth got overshadowed. We can make them care, she insisted, urgency dripping from her words. We just need to step forward. If we show them heart, they will connect. People can still believe in change. And how do we do that? He asked, cocking his head slightly. We go public. We tell our story. There will be cameras, yes, but we'll power through it. Show them that helping others isn't some dirty little secret. It's about lifting people up, reaching down where few look. In her mind, she could already see the headlines shifting. The old narrative of scandal suspended, replaced by something honest, raw, and beautiful, a real-life lesson on empathy and transformation. Mr. Anderson's eyes hardened with determination now. You really believe this will work? He pressed. Yes, she replied fiercely. You saved my life, Mr. Anderson. Let us save others. Together. Their shared moment pulsed with potential, and for a heartbeat, the world outside faded. If only they could lay down their own fears and trust each other enough, magic might just happen. As they plotted and planned, the sun dipped lower in the sky, shadows from the trees stretching long across the porch where they stood. It was a strange comfort, both hopeful and daunting. And yet, as doubt bubbled up within her, Lily quickly brushed it away. What did she have to lose? Days slipped by as they moved forward with the plan. Each little victory was met with resistance, but they kept pushing through. Just when it felt like momentum might be breaking through the clouds, the media caught wind of their collaboration. A big televised event was announced, a charity launch that could amplify their voices. However, night fell heavy with uncertainty as Lily lay awake, the energy of the day buzzing yet tangled with worry. Would they be misrepresented? Would the risks overshadow their resolve? But as she closed her eyes, one thought refused to leave her spinning mind. This was their chance, a fork in the road. Lily, are you ready? She whispered to herself, trying to quiet the anxious beating of her heart, still echoing with dreams of what could be. Tomorrow. And with that one word nestled in her heart, sleep finally took her, leaving behind the question hanging in the air: would they face the storm together, or would it tear them apart? Lily awoke to the sound of her phone buzzing relentlessly on the bedside table. It was still dark outside, but the glow from the screen illuminated her worried expression. Today was the big day. She took a deep breath, letting the weight of anticipation settle in. This was the moment they had been preparing for, but a storm of nerves stirred inside her. After getting ready, she made her way to the venue. Each step felt heavier than the last, but she pushed through, the thought of everything they could achieve lighting a fire within her. Would people rally behind them? Would the story they crafted together resonate? The charity event was held in an art gallery, with beautiful paintings lining the walls, but even the vibrant colors couldn't distract her from the tightness in her chest. She spotted Mr. Anderson across the room, his posture confident, a stark contrast to the whirlwind of thoughts swirling in her mind. When he noticed her, a warm smile broke through his serious demeanor. It was a small gesture, but it radiated reassurance that she needed right now. He approached her with that steady, calming presence. Are you ready for this? He asked, his voice low, almost drowned out by the buzz of conversation. I don't know, she admitted, biting her lip. What if they turn on us? The truth has a funny way of shining through, he replied, putting a hand on her shoulder. We just have to stay the course. Look at the good we can do. She searched his eyes for doubt but found none, only a fierce determination that mirrored her own. As the night unfolded, people began to fill the gallery, a diverse mix of supporters, media, and skeptics. She took in the scene, bright lights, whispers, the clinking of glasses. Her stomach churned, a cocktail of excitement and fear. The time came for them to speak. Standing side by side, she felt a strange sense of unity with Mr. Anderson. Under the glare of cameras, she positioned herself, ready to share her story, her journey from darkness to light. But the moment she opened her mouth, her heart raced wildly. "Thank you for being here," she started, glancing at Mr. Anderson, who offered her a nod. "My name's Lily, and I'm here to share something that has changed my life." As she recounted her own struggles, her voice cracked slightly, emotions flooding her words. She spoke about the impact he had on her, how he had reached out when no one else would. "Together we can create opportunities for children who feel lost, who feel like they don't have a place in this world." The room fell silent, absorbed in the raw honesty of her words. But just as she thought she was connecting, she noticed a figure bursting through the crowd. It was a well-known journalist, his camera crew trailing behind him, a smirk already forming on his face. "Mr. Anderson, what do you have to say to those who argue you're only doing this for a chance at redemption?" he interjected loudly, slicing through the meaningful atmosphere Lily was trying to create. He flinched slightly but maintained his composure. "This isn't about me," he replied, voice steady. "This is about the kids who need our help. If we can make a difference, isn't that worth the scrutiny?" Lily sensed the tension, her heart pounding. The media spotlight flicked like a strobe light, drawing attention to Mr. Anderson's every word. Could they stand firm against the storm of skepticism? As she stepped back to let him speak, their connection strengthened. She realized they were in this together, bound by a mission greater than either of them. When the event concluded and the crowd dispersed, a sense of relief washed over her. They had laid out their vision, raw and unpolished, but filled with hope. And yet, just as they began to celebrate their success, Lily's phone buzzed again. She glanced at the screen, her stomach dropping, an unexpected message from an anonymous source promising to expose something about Mr. Anderson's past that could change everything. With her heart racing and worry creeping in, she knew this was just the beginning. Could they emerge unscathed from the darkness, lurking behind their newfound light? Lily stared at her phone, disbelief washing over her. She read the message again, hoping it was a mistake or a cruel joke. "I know things about Mr. Anderson. If you care about your cause, you better listen." The anonymous threat twisted inside her like a knife, slicing through the optimism they had just begun to build. "What's wrong?" Mr. Anderson asked, seeing the color drain from her face. She hesitated, biting her lip. The weight of the world felt suddenly heavier. It's nothing. Just a message," she lied. But the fluttering in her stomach betrayed her. "Lily," he urged, his voice low yet firm. "I can see it's more than nothing. Talk to me." She sighed, the dread creeping in deeper. Would sharing this information hurt him, or would it be better to keep it hidden? She chose honesty, knowing the foundations they were building needed to be solid. "It's about you," she said hesitantly, glancing around to ensure no one was listening. "I just got a message from someone claiming they have information about your past, something that could ruin everything." His brows furrowed, but he didn't flinch. "What exactly do they say?" "I don't know the details," she admitted. But it sounded threatening. "They're implying that if you're not careful, it could all come crashing down." Mr. Anderson's expression shifted. The calm demeanor he had shown earlier was now tinged with apprehension. "This isn't the first time." "What do you mean?" He paused, collecting his thoughts. "I have made mistakes in my past, Lily. Things I wish I could change. But I thought I left that behind when I chose to turn my life around." Her heart sank. "You never told me. I didn't want my past to define me. I wanted to focus on the good we can do now." Fear and admiration intertwined in her chest. "But what if they expose you? What if they decide to target the charity?" He closed his eyes, taking a deep breath. Then we prepare ourselves. We don't back down. We show them who we truly are. Lily nodded, feeling the bond between them strengthen in that moment. But doubt still clawed at her heart. How much could one shadow from the past disrupt their bright future? I just can't shake the feeling that they're going to come at us hard, she confessed. Let them come, he said, his voice resolute. What we are doing is bigger than either of us. We'll face whatever lies ahead together. That's a promise. They exchanged a determined glance, but underneath the surface, uncertainty bubbled. If someone was out to ruin their mission, they had to be ready for the battle ahead. As they stepped out of the art gallery and into the bright city lights, Lily felt a chill breeze enveloping her. It was as if the universe was warning them. She pulled her coat tighter around her, thoughts spiraling. But amid the chaos, a flicker of hope ignited inside her. They had already started something beautiful, something transformative. Was it possible they could get through this too? Before she could dwell on it further, her phone chimed again. She hesitated for a moment, fear swirling in her mind. When she finally opened the message, her breath hitched. It was a follow-up from the same anonymous number. Meet me tonight if you want to know the truth about Mr. Anderson. 9 p.m. The old train station. Come alone. The ground beneath her felt unsteady, the walls closing in on her. What truth were they willing to reveal? Suddenly, the fight felt not just against the external forces threatening to pull them apart, but against the very shadows from the past. Should she go? Would she risk it all for Mr. Anderson? As they walked down the bustling streets, Lily knew one thing for sure, the next few hours would determine everything. She glanced at Mr. Anderson, who was unaware of her turmoil. Could uncovering the truth truly set them free, or would it drown their dream? Lily's heart raced as the city lights flickered around her. She stole a glance at Mr. Anderson, his face a portrait of determination and calmness. Yet, her own turmoil felt like a storm brewing within. She had spent months building something beautiful with him, and now one ominous message threatened to tear it all apart. Are you okay? He asked, concern lacing his voice. Yeah. Just thinking about the exhibition, she replied quickly, forcing a smile. But the thought of the old train station loomed in the back of her mind. What if this was the moment that changed everything? As they walked, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Shadows flitted in corners, eyes seemed to follow them wherever they went. The bustling city felt suddenly isolating. She held her breath, imagining someone lurking behind the trees, waiting for that perfect moment to pounce. Lily, you seem distant, Mr. Anderson commented, his gaze searching hers. You know I'm here for you, right? She nodded, biting her lip as she contemplated what lay ahead. Part of her yearned to spill every detail about the message, but could she really burden him with that? Would it distract him from their mission? The minutes crawled as they drifted through the vibrant streets. Glee-bellied the night families, couples, strangers all reveling in their own worlds while she wrestled with hers. The clock ticked closer to 9, each tick echoing in her mind like a countdown. I need to grab something before dinner, Lily finally blurted out, an idea materializing. Can you wait for me at the cafe? He raised an eyebrow, clearly not buying her excuse. You sure? I'd rather not split up. Just for a minute. I'll be quick, she insisted, trying to offer a reassuring smile, but it felt shaky. All right. Just promise you'll text me when you're done, he relented, his concern palpable. I promise, she replied, her heart sinking a little at the lie. As she turned to walk away, the weight of her choice bore down on her. Each step felt heavy, her mind spinning. This wasn't just about Mr. Anderson anymore, this was about everything they had worked for. The old train station was a mere block away, and each step seemed to pull her closer to the precipice. When she arrived, the air felt different, charged, electric. The station loomed, an abandoned relic with shadows dancing in the eerie light, like ghosts from another time. With a deep breath, she stepped inside. The air was still, silence thick enough to cut. There was a faint sound of footsteps echoing in the distance, mixing with the muffled rush of the outside world. "Lily?" A voice called, low and cautious. She turned to see a figure emerging from the shadows. A hood obscured their face, adding to the sinister aura surrounding them. "What do you want? Who are you?" she demanded, nerves screaming in her ears. "Someone who knows more than you think," the figure replied, stepping closer. "You want to save him? Then you need to hear the truth." Lily's heart raced as she instinctively stepped back. The truth? What exactly did that mean? "Does he know you're here?" They leaned in, their voice almost a whisper. "Because if he did, he'd stop you." Fear twisted in Lily's gut. What did this stranger know about Mark Anderson? What risk lay in hearing what they had to say? "Meet me under the old clock, and I'll reveal everything," the figure said, before slipping back into the darkness. Lily stood frozen, her pulse hammering in her ears. Would she really go through with this? She could walk away, protect Mr. Anderson from whatever secrets lay ahead, but at what cost? Now was the moment of truth. What had she gotten herself into? As she hesitated, a new message chimed on her phone, a simple notification: "I hope you chose wisely." The walls felt like they were closing in, decisions weighing down like lead. What awaited her under that clock? Would the truth spark liberation or destruction? Lily stood there, her heart pounding like a drum. The message glowed on her screen, and anxiety clawed at her mind. She could still turn back. She could walk out of the station and never look back. But what if this was her only chance to uncover something important? Taking a shaky breath, she moved toward the end of the platform, every step echoing the conflict swirling inside her. The old clock seemed to loom ahead, its hands frozen in time, a chilling reflection of the moment she was caught in. "What if I'm wrong?" she whispered to herself, but deep down, she felt the weight of curiosity pulling her forward. When she reached the old clock, the chilling silence pressed heavily around her. The air was thick with a tension she couldn't shake. Time seemed suspended, each minute stretching far too long. She glanced around, hoping to spot the figure who had summoned her. Instead, shadows flickered like memories she'd rather forget. "Lily," the figure's voice emerged from the darkness, drawing her attention. It was softer now, less menacing, but still guarded. "You came. I need answers," she said, her voice steadier than she felt. "What do you know about Mr. Anderson?" The figure stepped closer, revealing a face that was etched with lines of experience, worn yet insightful. "More than you realize. He's not who you think." "What does that mean?" Fear coiled tighter in her chest. She had always felt like she was standing on shaky ground, but now it felt like the earth was crumbling beneath her feet. "His past is linked to the message you received," they said, their eyes glinting in the dim light. "And if you care about him, you need to know the truth. Tell me," she urged, desperation seeping through her tone. But then uncertainty marred her determination. "Why are you helping me?" "I have my reasons," the stranger replied cryptically. "But understanding the truth will change everything for you. You need to be ready for that." Lily swallowed hard, the weight of their words heavy on her heart. Would the truth set her free, or would it shatter everything she cherished? "Fine," she managed to say, her resolve hardening. "I'm ready." "Follow me," they instructed, turning on their heel, leading her deeper into the shadows. Each step was like a leap into the unknown. She hesitated at first, but the promise of answers pushed her forward. The stranger led her through a narrow corridor lined with forgotten memories. Graffiti decorated the walls, remnants of lives that once bustled in this desolate place. "What was it you found out?" Lily asked, barely keeping pace. "Not what, but who," they responded, stopping abruptly. Mr. Anderson he's connected to a dangerous network. He's been in hiding for a reason. Life-threatening? She felt her stomach lurch. Yes. And there's someone who is close to finding him, someone who won't hesitate to destroy everything he loves. That includes you. Every word struck her like a blow. A new layer of fear unfurled, the thought of losing him twisting her insides tighter. Why didn't he tell me? She burst out, frustration bubbling to the surface. If he's in danger, I have to help him. That's the point, the figure replied, their tone grave. He loves you too much to drag you into his darkness. Lily's heart sank. How could she let someone she cared about shoulder this burden alone? But leaving me in the dark, that's not love either. Suddenly, a shrill sound pierced the night air, cutting through her thoughts. It was her phone again, Mr. Anderson, calling. Panic surged through her, but she couldn't pull away. Not now. Go to him, the figure urged, their expression softening just a touch. But remember, you can't unlearn what you're about to discover. Will I be safe? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Only if you tread carefully. Trust no one but yourself. With that, the figure dissipated back into the darkness, leaving her standing alone beneath the old clock. She glanced down at her phone, its screen lighting up with Mr. Anderson's name. Her heart raced as she hit accept. Lily. Where are you? I was getting worried, he said, his voice filled with concern. Just I need to talk, she said, her mind racing between fear and love. Meet me in the park when you can. Is everything okay? He asked, and she could hear the immediate worry lining his words. No, she replied honestly. But it will be. As she ended the call, she felt invigorated yet paralyzed by fear. Was she ready to face what lay ahead? Unless she knew the truth, how could she protect the man she loved? That question hung heavy in the air as she took a deep breath, preparing to meet the music of uncertainty. Would she be the woman who saved him or the one who lost everything? The night was still thick with secrets. Would she find the answers she sought, or would the truth be more than she could bear? Lily stepped out of the station, her thoughts still swirling like a storm. The message had been a lifeline and a curse rolled into one. She didn't have much time. The park was still a few blocks away, but every second felt crucial. Her mind raced with questions that refused to settle, each one spurred by the words of the stranger. Dangerous network, she muttered under her breath, the phrase echoing ominously. What kind of life had Mr. Anderson been leading? She trusted him, but doubts gnawed at her. Was everything she knew about him just a facade? The streetlights flickered, casting long shadows on the pavement. Lily's heart was a wild drumbeat, quickening as she approached the park. It was a quiet place, surrounded by trees that loomed like sentinels. She turned the corner, and there he stood, Mr. Anderson, pacing, anxiety etched on his face. Lily. His voice pulled her in. You're here. Relief washed over his features at the sight of her, but it quickly morphed into concern. What's wrong? You look, I know. She interrupted, holding up her hand. I know about your past. About the dangers. I need to understand, now. He froze, the words hanging in the air between them. You shouldn't have found out this way, he said, the gravity in his tone palpable. I wanted to protect you. Protect me? She repeated, incredulity rising. By keeping me in the dark? How could you think that was okay? As the frustration bubbled over, she felt her emotions threatening to spill out, tears pricking at her eyes. Damar. Anderson stepped closer, his gaze softening. Lily, it's not that simple. I know, it is simple, she shot back. I care about you. I deserve to know the truth. He sighed deeply, as if the weight of the world rested on his shoulders. It's a tangled mess, Lily. My past, it's not just mine. It's dangerous. Those I've left behind, they won't stop until they find me. Her heart sank at the realization. You mean they'll come for me too? Only if they know you're involved, he said, his voice steady yet heavy with sorrow. I thought distancing myself would keep you safe. No. You're only making it worse. Her voice trembled as she spoke. What if something happens to you? I can't just stand to the side. I want to fight this with you. His eyes searched hers, and for a moment, time felt suspended between them. You have no idea what you're asking, he said softly. It's dangerous to cross into this world. Maybe, she replied, her tone firm. But I'd rather be by your side, facing it together, than live in ignorance. The truth swirled in the space around them, binding them yet constructing an invisible hedge of fear. Lily, he whispered, a tremor in his voice. She stepped forward, closing the gap between them. I'm not afraid of the dark anymore. Not if you're with me. The tension crackled, the air felt charged with something both terrifying and thrilling. Just then, her phone buzzed in her pocket, jarring her from the moment. It was a private number, and her heart skipped a beat. Who is it? He asked, concern flooding his voice. I don't know, she said, staring at the screen. But I have to answer. It could be about you. Picking up the call, she put the phone to her ear. Hello? Lily? The voice was low and hissing, like a snake ready to strike. I have a message for you. She shared a glance with Mr. Anderson, his expression now a mix of worry and urgency. What do you want? Meet me where it all began. You've been led down a dark path, and I'm going to show you just how deep it goes. The line went dead, leaving silence hanging thick in the air. Lily felt a chill run down her spine. What was that about? Mr. Anderson demanded, anxiety etched on his face. I don't know, but it sounds like someone knows, she replied, battling the dread that settled in her heart. We need to find out what they want. As they exchanged worried glances, a flicker of determination ignited within her. She realized they were in this together, now separate yet intertwined in a dangerous dance. Lily, if we do this, there's no turning back, Mr. Anderson warned, his tone grave. I don't want to turn back, she responded firmly, raising her chin. I just want to know the truth. Their path now seemed clearer, yet darker than ever. The shadows of uncertainty lurked ahead, ready to ensnare whatever light they might bring into the unfolding chaos. What awaited them there was unknown, but they had to face it together. Would they be ready to confront the web of deceit surrounding them, or would the truth unravel more than they bargained for? Lily took a deep breath, steadying herself against the rush of emotions that surged through her. The uncertainty gnawed at her, yet the thrill of unearthing a hidden truth pushed her onward. She looked at Mr. Anderson, knowing that together they would face whatever awaited them. Where do we go? She asked, her voice steadier than she felt. Back to the old warehouse, he replied, hesitating for a moment. It's where it all started. That's where he'll meet us. Who is he? She pressed, but Mr. Anderson's silence spoke volumes. They began walking, the streetlights flickering like fireflies overhead. The night felt heavy and alive, as if the city itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Each step echoed her heart's urgency, a reminder that they had stepped into an unknown, treacherous world. As they neared the warehouse, shadows wrapped tighter around them. Old memories flickered in Mr. Anderson's eyes, memories he had tried so hard to leave behind. I don't want you to see this place, he murmured, regret thick in his voice. Then let me see it, Lily urged, determination fueling her. I need to understand. The warehouse loomed ahead, its broken windows and crumbling facade blending into the dark. A chill ran down Lily's spine, but she refused to turn back. Mr. Anderson drew her closer, his hand warm and reassuring, yet she sensed the tension radiating from him. As they stepped inside, the smell of rust and damp air enveloped them. A few flickering lights cast eerie shadows against the walls. It felt like walking into the past, a past filled with secrets and regrets. "Wait here," he said, releasing her hand. "I'll scout the area." "No," she insisted, stepping forward. "I'm not staying behind. Not now. If we're in this together, let us be together." He shot her a look, a mix of admiration and frustration. "You have no idea what could happen. If he's got a hidden agenda, I don't care." She interrupted, her voice echoing in the constricted space. "I want to let you face this alone." They moved cautiously, weaving through dust-laden crates and old machinery. Whispers of the past haunted the corners, tales of betrayal and survival lurking within the silence. A door creaked open, and they both jumped, the sound sharper than any breath they had taken. "Lily," Mr. Anderson warned, his voice a hushed rumble, "stay close." They approached the sound cautiously, and there he stood, an elusive figure shrouded in darkness. The man was tall, his features obscured, creating an air of mystery and danger. "Welcome, Lily." "Mr. Anderson," the figure hissed, an unsettling grin creeping onto his face. "I see you both came after all. Who are you?" Lily demanded, her heart racing. "Let us just say I'm someone with answers," he replied, leaning closer. "But first, you need to understand the stakes. You're in over your head." "No, we can handle this," Mr. Anderson replied, a thunderous determination underlying his voice. "We want the truth." "Truth? Ah, yes. The truth can be very painful," the man mused, his tone dripping with mockery. "Are you sure you're ready for it?" As their eyes met, a wave of fear washed over Lily. Was she truly ready for the depths of this darkness? The weight of her decision pressed heavily on her chest. "Whatever it is, I want to know," she said, her voice firm and unyielding despite the turmoil inside her. "Very well," the man replied, a glint of amusement in his eyes. "But be warned, once you step into this world, there's no going back." With that, he stepped aside, revealing glimpses of a disturbing scene behind him, shadows weaving stories of danger and revelations. Lily's heart raced as realization set in. What secret lay hidden within those walls? What truths were about to be unearthed? As the door slammed shut behind them, the air thickened with tension. What awaited them beyond that threshold would test everything they thought they knew about trust and bravery. Would they be able to come out of this stronger, or would the weight of the truth crush them in its wake? The darkness around them felt alive, shimmering with unspoken truths as Lily and Mr. Anderson stepped into the hidden realm beyond the door. The space opened into a dimly lit room filled with old files and boxes, remnants of a life Mr. Anderson had tried to bury. Each flicker of light danced across faded photographs, and fragments of a story long concealed whispered through the dust. Lily swallowed hard, her heart racing. "What is all this?" she asked, the tremor in her voice betraying her fear. But Mr. Anderson stood tall, his determination hardening like steel. "It's my past," he said, his voice steady. He moved deeper into the room, a shadow among ghosts. "And it's time you understood everything." As he began to sift through the remnants of his life, she noticed the way his fingers lightly brushed over a black-and-white photo, a younger version of him, eyes full of hope, standing with a group of intensely smiling faces. But beneath that smile lay a sadness she couldn't comprehend. "Who are they?" she asked, stepping closer. Her curiosity piqued by the warmth in his gaze, still shimmering despite the shadows enveloping them. "Friends, family," he replied, his tone dipped in regret. "People who believed in me before the greed took hold, before I lost my way." With each passing moment, Lily felt the pieces falling into place. "And those who are looking for you now? The network. They're part of my mistakes," he admitted, anguish etching his voice. "I became involved with the wrong crowd, mistaking ambition for success. I hurt people, Lily. People who cared." Her heart ached for him. She saw the vulnerable man behind the wealth, the one who simply wanted to belong. "You changed," she responded softly, courage swelling within her. "You're not that person anymore." "I know that," he countered, frustration brimming, "but they don't." The air felt thick with the weight of unspoken tension. A rustling sound broke the silence. A figure stepped into the room, his demeanor exuding danger like a dark cloud. "Mr. Anderson," the man breathed, voice like gravel. "You think you can play both sides?" Lily's heart drummed loud enough to drown out their surroundings. She gripped Mr. Anderson's arm, drawing strength from him. "We're not afraid," she declared, refusing to cower. "We are here to expose the truth, whatever it takes." The figure laughed, a low, sinister tone. "You're in over your head, little girl. Once you're outed as part of this world, there's no going back." Unyielding, Lily responded, "Then let us make sure the truth comes out first." "Truth?" the man echoed mockingly. "The truth is subjective, child. You think the world cares about the truth when they can paint a story riddled with flaws?" But just as doubt threatened to seep into Lily's determination, something else surged within her, a vibrant flicker of hope. She could picture the future where kids like her and Tommy no longer faced the darkness alone. They could shine together. "Maybe it's time for your past to meet your present," Lily challenged, stepping forward. Mr. Anderson's presence behind her felt like a fortress supporting her resolve. "Together, we'll show them who we are," he stated, firmness in his voice. "We're not backing down." The man before them hesitated, surprise flashing in his eyes. The duo in front of him radiated strength, something he had not anticipated. "You truly think this will end well?" he asked, his bravado faltering. "Watch us," Mr. Anderson replied, stepping forward and balling his fists in defiance. He turned back towards Lily, their eyes locking with understanding. They had come too far to retreat. In that moment of unity, a flood of vivid memories coursed through Lily's mind, the love for Tommy, their struggles, and the hope that had blossomed through every difficulty. Each flicker of joy ignited flames of determination, brightening the shadows enveloping them. "Let us go, Lily." Mr. Anderson took her hand. "We can face whatever comes next." They turned toward the exit, not as fugitives but with a sense of purpose. They knew the truth may be terrifying, but it would set them free. The echoes of their steps rang boldly, fueled by courage, infused with light. As they prepared to leave, the man's voice called out, desperate now. "Don't you see?" he yelled, his tone shifting to desperation. "You're on a path towards ruin. You tread the line of your destruction." Lily turned, unwavering in her stance. "Destruction never comes from truth, only from hiding behind the lies. We will bring it to light." With that, they pressed forward, stepping into the brightness of the night beyond. They had each other, together they would challenge the darkness, inspiring others to join in. The world awaited them. Lily had never felt so alive, so determined to make a difference. In their journey, they would weave the narrative of hope, resilience, and redemption. Fear still lingered, but it paled in comparison to the strength that grew between them. The night filled with possibility, and they walked hand in hand toward the dawn of a new beginning. Now, it's time for you. You need to subscribe immediately to this channel and not miss the exclusive stories to come. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and keep this message of hope alive. Comment below your reactions and feelings about this incredible transformation, and don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this journey of courage. It's time to stand together and spread the light.